Welcome back to Bills, Bets, and Beers. I'm the host, Chad, and this is a channel where I mostly talk about Bills football, also just the NFL in general, and also do some bets, some parlays, I've been trying to do more 4 to 6 leg parlays, and then obviously I do bigger parlays as well. I'm not putting much money on it, so the only way to make money is to make the parlays bigger. So, not the best way. But if you see a couple things I'm putting in a parlay and you think, well, I could take 3 or 4 of those out and put it in a bet and probably double or triple my money, then that'd be good for you guys. And I think that's what I'm really going for here. I mean, I'm winning every once in a while. Obviously, when I do win, I win a little bit of money. But it's only like, oh, I turned $1 into like $80 or $1 into $100. It's not like I'm turning into 1,000 or like even a couple hundred. So hopefully one day it will. So I also do some taste testing of like some good brews, like IPAs mostly. I'll do some some lighter draft beer as well sometimes, but mostly doing IPAs and trying to get some from the local area. I'll probably be picking some more up from Geneva area because apparently there's like 14 breweries around there, so I gotta pick some up and test them on this channel. First up, some Bills news. Trey White is still day to day, and I got this all set up yesterday, so a little late for this part, but Trey White is not playing against the Packers. So hopefully he can come in against, coming against the Jets, get some playing time just so he's not just getting thrown into the mix against the Vikings. I just don't think that'd be a good way to bring him into the year. I think the Jets would be a little bit easier with Wilson back there instead of Kirk Cousins with Justin Jefferson. And I mean, I think he would have to follow Justin Jefferson at that point, or at least just do snap count or something. Also, Bills are coming out solidly healthy into this Packers game after the bye week. The only one that was really on the injury report, which I saw, was Kumro was limited, and obviously Trey White's not playing this game. So I mean, that's huge. You don't see anything about Poyer being in there, and I'm sure he's probably gonna have a rest day or so coming up for his ribs, but it's a really good sign. I mean, ribs don't heal right away. It takes a while. But the fact that Poyer is still practicing is good. And let's get into this video a little bit further. I have a couple key matchups for the game, and this is going to be a video where I'm going to be talking about the Bills, Packers preview and prediction of what I think is going to happen. The first one I put in there, which I think is kind of obvious, Bills D-line versus Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I think we're going to do fine against them, but that's just really where the only offense is coming from the Packers as of late. Receiving, they have not been doing great. They're all banged up. I mean, the injury report showed a lot of them questionable. Obviously, I think that's probably just clouding some things so the Bills can't just get ready for certain people being there. But obviously, a lot of them are still injured and they're probably not paying 100% at this point. And honestly, the Bills have been the number one defense against the rush. They've allowed the least amount of yards, least amount of touchdowns rushing, all these things like this. So they're the number one defense against the rush. And they faced Henry. And they also faced Baltimore and stuff like that. So they have good rushing teams they faced. Obviously, some aren't as high, but I think they're still going to do very well against this game. I found it hard trying to find some hard key matchups to make it tougher for the Bills, but I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for them either. But I think if we can stop their run, we're definitely going to get it. We're definitely going to be able to attack Aaron Rodgers a little bit more and put more pressure on him. Next up, Bills pass rush versus the Packers beat up O-line. Um, I need to see how this is pronounced. Bacchia, Bacchiardi or whatever his name is. He might be playing this week. I know he didn't play last week like they thought he was going to do, but he might play this week. So with him coming in and playing this week, that's going to bolster their O-line a little bit. But just on that injury report, there's a lot of O-linemen on there. I mean, they're not looking that great on the O-line, and I know Bacchiardi is going to be really good for them when he comes back. But I mean, our pass rush has been very well this year as well. And if there's just one person on that line that's really good, and there's a couple other ones that are still banged up on, they're going to move Von Miller around a little bit. And I don't know if Russo's probably going to eat and stuff like that. So I think we're going to get at least a sack, probably a sack or two against the Packers. I would at least think one, probably even 2 to 3 at max. I don't know. I think, like I said, there's only so many points I can say about this game. I think we're going to beat them pretty well. And I think it's just going to be really on how the Bills play their offense and how this game goes. I mean, the defense, I think, is going to hold their ground like they have been doing. And I think the offense, if they roll hot like they have been the whole past couple weeks, they're going to come into this game, keep going, getting hotter, and I think they're just going to really just outscore them, and the defense is going to not allow too many points. Next, Stephon Diggs versus Jair Alexander. And also Davis versus the second or third cornerback. I think this is going to be a big game for Davis, just because I think Alexander is going to be mostly covering or following Diggs at this point, because Diggs has way more yards than Davis at this point, obviously. Davis obviously has been injured and stuff, but I think Davis is going to have another over 100-yard game. I think more towards 150. If I was a betting man, I'd definitely pick his over, which I did. I think his over for this game is only 55 or something like that, which is ridiculous, so I picked that. Obviously, I think that's going to be an easy pickup for him. And yeah, I think Diggs will still get his yards. I think Diggs will still get up towards around probably 70 or 80 if Davis really goes off. And I still think he's going to get probably six plus catches. I don't think they're going to be able to stop him, because Diggs can move around as well. And with how they do the routes, I mean, they can flood Alexander away from him on some plays and make him kind of mess up on the defense at that point. So I think they're going to do fine, but that's another matchup where it's not really super key for us to win, but obviously if Davis or Diggs blows up, it's going to be a lot easier for us. But I think Diggs is going to have not a hard day, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get all those yards and catches he's been doing. Next and last one I have for it is what's this say? Oh yeah, Rodgers and the injury-riddled wide receiver core versus the almost fully healthy, finally, Buffalo Bills QB cornerbacks and linebackers. I mean, we've had some things and stuff along the way. We've had a lot during the Miami game, and that's the only game we lost. And that's when Poyer wasn't out there at all either. And with Poyer being back there still, that's huge for us. And on top of that, we have all the corners are basically healthy now. And the only one we're waiting to come back on, even linebackers. Even Tremaine and everyone's back there. So Milano's huge to have back there as well. Thank God he's been healthy all year. And I see us getting maybe 2 picks on Rodgers this week. If we can stuff the run pretty well, and then that'll allow us to start getting some pressure on him, because he's gonna have to start throwing. And then with our pass rush going in there, I think that's gonna put enough of a stress on Rodgers. I know he's gonna be a Hall of Fame quarterback. I know he's very good at reading defenses, but I think he's not going to get tricked. Instead, he's going to get forced into trying to make a play, and then we're going to make him pay for it at that point. So, I mean, maybe another Teron Johnson pick. I mean, he likes to get those in key moments. Maybe at the end of the game just to ice it out again. Or, I mean, Dane Jackson been doing well. And same thing for Kyer Elam. He's been doing well. So, I mean, who knows? I think we're gonna handle it pretty well. But that's like the only real like a matchup that's gonna be going on. Because like I said, it's not gonna be much. To me, it's not gonna be much of a matchup, but it can be. It all depends how the Bills come out after this bye. So that'll roll me into my next one. Some interesting stats coming into this game. McDermott is 5-0 after the bye week. I mean, that's every single year he's been with the Bills. He's won after the bye week, even when Josh Allen was young, even when they had Tyrod. So we still came out and won. So this game I don't think is going to be any different. And I think last year, I forget what YouTuber said it, but saying like how the Bills have learned from past mistakes. Last year, we did not come fully prepared into that Jacksonville Jaguars game. And we ended up with the trap game there. We can't let anything like that happen because losing that one Jaguars game lost us a number 1 seed possibly with how KC ended up last year. If we would have had that one win, we probably would have had the first seed. So, I mean, that's the difference. Then we would have been playing at home in that KC game instead of away. And we probably wouldn't be even being KC at that point. So, that's huge. It's a big difference at that point. But I'm hoping. I mean, I don't think we're gonna come out flat. And if we get this one game out the way, the rest of the schedule, besides that Vikings and Bengals game, I mean, we still have a lot of divisional games coming up. But to be honest, we've been handling the division very well lately. And now with Breece Hall out for the Jets, it makes the Jets look a little easier to beat. And Miami's coming in when it's going to be cold. Pats aren't looking great right now. They've got latest loss to the Bears. Pretty bad. Our schedule's looking pretty nice at the end. Especially since all the home games against them, it's going to be coming up at this second half of the year as well. So, that's going to be fun to go to. And also, this is the first time, which I think is crazy. Actually, it's not, because Packers and Rodgers have always been good. They've always finished like 13-3, 12-5, things like that. They've always been taking their division usually. This is the first time they are double-digit underdogs in a game since Rodgers was there. So now I think it was 10.5. Now it's 11.5. I think it could get up towards 13 points before the end of this, before Sunday night, and that is going to be crazy. 13-point underdogs, or even 11.5 points right now. Packers being 11.5 underdogs is ridiculous. I think even if this was a home at Lambeau, we would probably still be around 8 or 9 point favors, which is ridiculous. So that's what gets me worried with that being such of a high betting line. But I have a parlay for this game. I'm going to be putting that out later on. Probably for my Sunday night parlay, I'll probably be putting that out Friday, Saturday, just to get it out there. I probably might film it tomorrow and then drop it Saturday morning or something. But I'll be getting that out as well. So I got 3 or 4 parlays I want to kind of mix and match and put in the videos next couple days so they can get out for Sunday. And then it's going to be hopefully a good winning weekend for me. And yeah, now into the score prediction. I believe the Bills are going to win, and this is being pretty conservative with points-wise, 38-10. I initially had it 38-17, but our defense has been so good. Maybe Rodgers should be able to get touchdowns, like if we're up by so much. But I just don't see them. Rodgers hasn't been scoring that many touchdowns lately. They've just been having a very offensive struggle over there. So I just see it being a very low-scoring game on their end and high-scoring on our end because their defense has been getting taken advantage of by teams like Washington. I mean, that's not good for them. So, also, on to the sponsors part of this video. One of my, hopefully, sponsors in the near or late future, doesn't matter when, New Belgium Voodoo Ranger. Specifically the Voodoo Ranger portion of it. I like New Belgium. They do other good beers as well, but Voodoo Ranger is the subsector I like the best. If I could get a sponsor to them, that'd be great. I would mention them. I still mention them every video anyways. They probably don't even know, which, I mean, maybe like 10 people watch my videos. So, not much to go on from there, but hopefully in the future, get some more stuff rolling around. Maybe I can actually eventually catch their attention and maybe get sponsored. Also, Mr. Nasty Time. He's my buddy Evan. He does great content. He does stuff on UFC fights. He's won a couple big parlays not from it. He's been fighting for years, and I mean since high school time, like doing actual UFC and MMA training. And then he also just watches. He's been watching it very religiously since then too, so he knows everything about it. He knows how they fight, he knows their techniques, he knows how good they are on ground, how good they are in fighting, like actually stand up. So I mean, he's very good at guessing those. I think maybe he lost 1 or 2 out of 7 on this last week's parlay, so he's very good at that. So if you want to go there and just grab a couple off when he does videos like that, then that would definitely do that as well. He also drops a video usually every Wednesday or Thursday about his power rankings of all 32 teams in the NFL. So he does a very good job on that. It's very good content, good quality, talks a lot about the teams, and just kind of why he sees them at certain spots. And he does predict games every once in a while, but he also has been streaming his gaming to that. He's going to be streaming tonight about the new Modern Warfare 2 like multiplayer. I might be jumping on, and a couple other people are going to be jumping on to play. Just kind of shoot the shit and just see how good it. I mean, we played it earlier when it was on the free beta version of it, but now it's coming out full soon. So, and also my wife, Crochet with Elisha. She does very good stuff. Anyways, she does a lot of stuff like with making cardigans, shirts, beer koozies. She's done like these like bikini top type things before. I mean, she makes dolls, anything you'd literally think of, and she does a good job with it. She buys the best yarn that she can, well, the best yarn for that job. She's not gonna just get cheap, like very rough yarn for like clothes. She gets really soft yarn. But I would definitely recommend going to its Crochet with Elisha. It's Elisha. And you can DM her, and if you ask like, hey, can I get one of these? I saw you made this in there earlier. She always puts stuff up of her products she's made. It's really cool. Pretty soon, I'm going to be dropping, like I already said, the Sunday videos and the Sunday Night Football parlays. But I'm also going to be putting in a big 15-leg parlay on predicting all the Week 8 games. And I'll probably be dropping that first with a couple of, and just like a normal Sunday Night Football parlay with, and that's just a small like little 6-leg parlay of basically a little change up. Instead of just doing a big 15-leg guessing all the games, it's just like the end up, like I did a couple overs on there and just a couple like money lines just to make a quick buck, so it turns like $2 into like probably 50 or 60, something like that. Just something small so things don't always have to be gigantic parlays, because you're usually probably not gonna hit all of them. So that's gonna be it, and of course, go Bills, and I'll see you later.